Okay, so you should have your reading textbook out and turn to page 179. The directions on the slide say to reread page 179 to focus on the theme. And then here's your question. According to Smilin' Jack, what do the neighbors get in return for their kindness? I want you to circle the paragraph that helps you answer this question. So reread page 179 and find the paragraph that helps you answer what do the neighbors get in return for their kindness. I'm going to reread page 179, starting at the top. It says, but then we found a new way to fight back. Pay the rent man and have the world's best party at the same time. How'd you do that? Sonny asked. All the neighbors got together and threw themselves a rent party, Smilin' Jack said. They baked sweet potato pies, fixed up some catfish and greens, then brought the food to the house where help was needed. They put out a big empty bucket, too, and soon someone who knew how to pluck a fine banjo or blow a jazz horn would start playing, make people sing and dance and forget their worries for a while. By the end of the night, people had dropped enough money in the bucket to put the old rent man back in his place. That sounds like a mighty fine idea, Sonny said. But where am I going to find somebody who'll play for Mama and me, play for poor people he doesn't even know? Smilin' Jack faked a frown and tapped his foot. Some people say I play a pretty mean trumpet myself. For the first time in days, Sonny smiled. When Sonny got home, he found Mama sitting near the stove. No luck again today, Sonny, she said, but I'll keep looking. I'll find me that job to keep us going. Okay. So the question is, according to Smilin' Jack, what do the neighbors get in return for their kindness? Circle the paragraph that helps you answer this question. Well, I really hope that you chose to circle paragraph 23. It's this big paragraph in the middle, because this definitely tells you what the neighbors get in return for their kindness. And first, I want to say, well, what was the neighbor's kindness? What do they mean by that? Well, neighbors would come over with food. They would bake pies, they would make catfish, they would make greens, they would bring food over and help with the party. And then some neighbors would play instruments to help with the party. Neighbors would come over to another person's house and bring food and music to help throw a party for them. They also, a kindness they also did, other than bringing food and music, was they also dropped money in a bucket to donate to the person needing money for rent. So those are all kindnesses that the neighbors did for people. The question is, what do they get in return for their kindness? So towards the second half of the paragraph, it says, it would make people sing and dance and forget their worries for a while. If you have a highlighter, you could highlight that. It starts with this little dash, make people sing and dance and forget their worries for a while. So people would bring in food and play music and donate, and then it would make them forget their worries too. They might have things they were worried about, but anytime when you're at a party having a good time, it gives you a few minutes to forget about your problems. So by having this rent party, it was helping the people who were helping the ones who needed rent as well. So you should have circled paragraph 23 and maybe even highlight that the neighbors get in return that makes people sing and dance and forget their worries for a while.